All right, y'all. It was this video that I seen recently with this girl, this sister. Don't call me white chick or something like that. But she a podcaster or whatnot, and she was explaining the culture of Philly, where if you go to order a pizza, there ain't gonna be no pork on it. You ain't even got to tell them. 9 times out of 10, you order a pizza in Philly, there ain't gonna be no pork on it. It says, she was, matter of fact, she was cooking. She was explaining about uh beef bacon that she had that people were looking a little funny about. Um, but she just again talking about the no pork in the culture of Philly, where they order instead of pork chops, they get turkey chops, they get chicken chops, and it's due to the fact that there are so many Muslims there that even people who are not Muslim have picked up on not eating pork because it's kind of got to go out of your way to get it. Most of the stores aren't selling it. Most of the stores are halal, and they're not selling no pork. They're not dealing with no pork in their stores because they're Muslim. And you also see that too in men where they're wearing their beards. A lot of black men coming out of Philly, especially that one rapper, Freeway. He they have the beards. They have the beards. They have, they've been touched by that Islamic culture because there's so many people within that parameter that's living it, not just on the corner quoting it, not just in their homes quoting it, not just on YouTube, but they're living it. So many of them living it that um it affects the culture of that area. All right. And it's, Islam probably one of we go a lot at the church and so forth, with Hebrew Israelism, but in Bible, just Bible believers in general, but Islam is becoming a problem. You seen IUIC go down the old block and they celebrated that and marching and so forth, but all the old block, not undone, most of the old block is converting to Islam. You know, you had a group go out there with hundreds, maybe even thousands, marching around old block, trying to be a image for old block. Um, but most of them converted. We see that now. Most of them converted to Islam, and most of this black youth now are converting. That's what's trending right now is Islam, and we have to start. We have to start, dealing with that. You know, what I'm saying? We got to start dealing with that. But I want to deal with that fact that you know, living it, the importance of living it. We can talk it all day long. And we've heard people say sometimes, yeah, man, I heard about it, man, but I ain't never seen it, you know. And it's a difference. It's one thing, it's hard to believe it. Like, you can believe it hearing somebody saying it, but it's just different. Once you see it, you're like, okay, yeah, I was hearing about that, but then once I get a view of it and I see how it works, I see the benefits of it, then it makes it more believable. All right. Um, let's look at Deuteronomy 4 and 6 real quick. It says, keep therefore, let's start at 5. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this is a great nation. Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. In the sight of the nations, all right, they're going to hear these statutes and they're going to see you keeping these statutes, hear the reasoning why, see the benefits, and they're going to say that surely this is a great and understanding people, and they're going to want to cleave to these kind of people. They're going to want to embark in this culture. But throughout the text, we always see Israel embarking in other people's culture. Why? Why are they embarking so much in these other folks' culture? Because that's what they're seeing these folks do. Whatever these folks are worshiping, they out there worshiping it diligently. Whatever pagan feast, whatever pagan deities they're worshiping, they're doing it diligently. Israel is seeing it. They're seeing the benefits of it. They probably got conquered by these people. And they grasp to that. And our people are doing that even with Islam. Its benefits, especially, I don't want to just deal with it behind the bars. But, it's a discipline that comes with it. It's an aura that's on it, where these people are respected. All right, they have a reverence. These young men are respecting these men because they live by this code. All right, that's how they're gaining the respect. And so we have to evaluate ourselves. Oh, well, they're not looking at us that way because they're not seeing the discipline. They're not seeing the structure. They're not seeing the our children and our families and the structure of our families and how disciplined things are in our households and how well behaved our children are in the schools. Or they're not seeing our schools that we building for ourselves and our grocery stores that we building for ourselves. All right, they're not seeing our communities that we're living amongst each other and how clean we're keeping our communities and well kept our lawns and so forth is. So they're not seeing these things. They're hearing them. They're hearing us teaching the law on the corner, but they're not seeing us keeping it. All right. They're not seeing us keeping it. They're not seeing the benefits of it. What we have, verse 7, it says, "For what nation is there so great, who have God so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for?" It says, "And what nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul guard. Guard thy soul diligently." And that's what we're not doing. We're allowing these things, that Proverbs 4:23, we're allowing these things. We're not keeping our heart. All right, we're not guarding our heart. We're not guarding our souls. And he tell you to guard it diligently. Protect it. Protect your soul. Or what? Least thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen. See, it's just a hearing. Faith come by hearing, hearing by the word, but it has to be executed. Faith without works, it has to be executed also. Okay? And it's another level to it once it's executed and you have the faith to execute it. All right. Forget the things which, Shalakia, least thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and least thou depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons. All right. And so you should be teaching these to your sons and your sons' sons. And this is one of the things that we always we always going at these sisters, man, but the text don't do that. That's a funny thing, is that the text put it all on the men, because that's where it starts. That's where it starts. We have to get in order. That's where the problem is. All right. And we have to address that first. We have to deal with us first. We have to deal with us first. And so this reminds, keep thy soul diligently, lest they forget the things. Kind of reminds you of this This James 1:22. Let's see if we can pull that up. James 1:22 says, "Be ye doers of the word, not hearers only, deceiving your own selves." See, we deceiving ourselves. We talking about, man, this the fastest growing movement. Somebody say that other man, the Israelism, the fastest growing movement ever. Man, we waking up all over the world, you know. But the measuring stick is how is it affecting the culture? I go days without seeing Israelites. You know, where I'm at, I go days without seeing it's man, it's a treat to see a brother with wearing fringes, man. Oh, man, you know. And so that should be the measurement. How is it affecting? You know, how is it affecting them? It's all the pork, you know. You have so many Israelites in the area that the pork is just going bad because ain't nobody buying it. And so the store has to adjust what they're bringing in, and they can't keep enough lamb in there. So they gotta buy more lamb. And now they selling different parts of the lamb. Now they got the lamb head, they got the lamb, they got all kinds of parts of it. They ain't just selling the chops and the darn and the shoulders no more. They got the, you know, they got the darn, all other kind of parts. I can't think of the lamb parts down, but I know you got the shank, um, and maybe some chopped parts for stew or whatever. But anyway, that's how these things can change, and that's how we should be measuring these things. It's gonna be hard to try to put a number because people jumping from camp to camp, from body to body. Well, yeah, you got to camp over here, we got to camp over there, but jokers fall out. They go stop and they do making their own camps, and then you see all these different pages, and you think YouTube, you're seeing all these different things rising up on YouTube, and you thinking, and then there's so many different philosophies. People thinking that Israel ain't even Israel, and you know, really Israel and South Africa. And this is a lot of different thought processes out here. But still, it got to come back to living. But let's look at this James 1:22 again. Shalakia. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. He beholdeth himself, with verse 23, beholdeth himself in a natural glass, right? In the mirror. He looking at himself in the mirror. He sees himself. He beholdeth himself. He sees himself. Then he walks away and he forget what manner of man he was. And this is what the Deuteronomy 4 was saying. That keep thy soul diligently, guard thy soul diligently, lest thou forget what manner of man, lest thou forget thy ways. And that's what a hearer of the word is, and not a doer. A lot of us are sitting in class and just still going out into the world and doing what we want to do. And doing what we want to do and say, hey, man, I'm gonna get it. Oh, it's okay, man. God know my heart and so forth, and He does. He does, and we know. I'm not gonna get into the wickedness of the heart, but we have to focus more on the doing. Just like the letting your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and want to worship your God. All right. So it's about, it's about doing. We gotta finish the equation. We gotta finish the equation. It's easy to point the finger and say, oh, well, you're not doing. Or, telling you, hey, you need to do. But it can be more effective when they see you doing it. If they see you doing it, it becomes more effective and more influential, and people will be more it's more chance for them to glean to it, to turn to it, um especially when they hit a certain they mess around, get in the wilderness, or hit a certain situation or dark point. um it'll be something for them to turn to, something for them to look back at and say, man, how did he got it? Like, how does he get his family all that? Man, I wish my family was like that. Man, I wish my community was like that. Man, I wish, you know, I could have that kind of diet, or I could have that kind of structure. Um, but we have to be showers of these things. We have to be lights. All right, we have to understand that we are lights, and we do not hide these things. Okay, we do not hide our families and hide our good works. Um, you let those things shine before men, and you don't have to boast about it or brag about it. You just let it be seen, and others will speak and boast on it. Others will exalt you. Um, and we keep it there. But I pray this thing was edifying, man. What y'all think? Y'all hit the comments, y'all. And prayerfully, this helps someone. Y'all be blessed.